Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to the United Stand. Bit different. I'm not in my studio today. I am in the United Stand headquarters, bringing you the morning show this morning. Hope everybody's well and okay. Get your tea, get your coffee, get your biscuit, whatever it is that you want ready, because there's lots to talk about. We'll be talking about Kolo Muani. We'll be talking about Rasmus Hojlund. The Mason Mount deal is being prepped, so that'll be ready soon. Manchester United will be making a bid for Mason Mount, and then there's Denzel Dumfries as well that has been linked with Manchester United. And I'll speak on a little bit about the Takeover news as well. If you didn't catch me on last night's show, we can have a chat about that this morning. But let's get straight into it. Thank you very much for everybody joining nice and early this morning. First and foremost, let's address the latest talks that have happened about Kolo Muani being linked with Manchester United at a price tag of around 80 million euros. A huge amount of money for the young boy. And look, he's not as developed as the likes of Harry Kane. Does he have the ceiling or potential like a Rasmus Hojlund? But the price tag is massive and colossal for Kolo Muani. A lot of people do fancy Kolo Muani to come to Manchester United. He's a very fluid forward, can play from the left, from the right. He's almost got a very good link-up play, and he's very good at beating his defenders as well. But where do you stand with the price tag? The ability is of no question, right? With some of these players, ability is no question. But where do we draw the line when it comes to the price tag? Get in the comments nice and early and let me know, what do you think Kolo Muani's price tag should be? Because look, I was just before I started the show, I was looking at and just thinking back, speaking to Charlie about the Liverpool and McAllister deal. I mean, how have they got McAllister for 40 million pounds? How? It's unbelievable when they were actually quoting 60, 70 million for him. So we need to be making good deals. We need to be making smart deals, and we need to be saving money wherever we can, because if you want Manchester United to get 5 or 6 signings, you can't be going and paying 80 million euros, which is about what, 75, 70 million pounds for Kolo Muani. It just doesn't make sense. Honestly, it does not make sense. If you think we can get 100 million in sales, for example, this summer from the likes of Henderson leaving, Maguire, Scott McTominay or Elanga, etc., leaving, you're going to spend majority of your budget from all of these sales on one player that's not world-class level yet, and that still needs developing and still has a lot of room for improvement. Like I said, I would much rather go and put that budget down on the likes of Victor Osimhen. That would make much more sense. A forward who's similar age range to Kolo Muani, not light years older, and much more developed, much more clinical, much more established. And why not? Absolutely, why not? Get in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this deal. I'm still very much interested in Rasmus Hojlund. He's been quoted around 40 million pounds. And originally, when the story had come out, I was a bit skeptical, again, because of the price tag, not because of the ability. I promise you, these players, they are fantastic players. Nobody can take that away from them. Rasmus Hojlund's numbers speak for themselves, right? And he's so young. He's 20 years old. So much room for improvement. Imagine the work that Benny McCarthy could do with these forwards. But, I was skeptical about the price tag at the start. But now 40 million pounds, I think it's a good price. I really do. I think Rasmus Hojlund could be that player in the next few years. But where is your mindset coming into next season? Who's going to give us the 20 goals that we want next season? Do you think Rasmus Hojlund can be that player to give you a 30-goal contribution season in the Premier League at 21 years old? I think he'll be 20 years old. Do you think he could do that? I don't think so. I really don't. And also, you have to think the style of football we want to play. If you look at the likes of Kolo Muani, who is totally different to Harry Kane, in a 4-3-3, Kolo Muani is going to have to drift left, going to have to drift to the right. Where do you come in terms of playing Rashford in that role? Because does Rashford have to go in central at times? Whereas we're looking at how can we put a central number 9 who can stay there all the time. And that means Rashford having to create more chances for that forward. You could play a 4-4-2 diamond, for example, where Rashford and Kolo Muani play off each other. And that would be an interesting formation, and that would be an interesting style of play as well. But the type of football that Manchester United we want to play, and Ten Hag especially wants to play, you will need someone who can hold up the ball right in the central position, and you know, someone who can link up with the wingers, can use that, you know, the speed that Rashford has, the ability that Anthony has, you know, Ahmad coming in there as well, Sancho hopefully doing a bit more next season. You want a central number 9. You want a number 9 that will get you goals from aerial threat, that will get you goals, you know, poacher goals, tap-in goals. You can get at least 10 goals just from that alone. Then you have the other goals, you know, from set pieces and so on and so forth. Big up to, let me get the members super chat. Good morning, Faz and Mod, says Rosie. Thank you very much for staying a member of the United Stand for 12 months. Thank you so very much for your loyalty, and thank you so very much for your members only chat as well. Yeah, I think it's important to understand, depending on the striker we go for, there's numerous different aspects of football that we can play. Harry Kane can play a 10. He can play from the right. He's such a good creator himself. His numbers obviously don't lie, just let alone his goal scoring, his assists as well. Imagine the way Harry Kane would be able to assist Bruno, would be able to assist Rashford. And then you look at the likes of Kolo Muani, for an 80 million euro player. Look, he's very good beating his player 1v1, and he's actually very creative as well. He's more creative than Rashford, don't forget. Way more creative. But then, how do you fit him into this system when it comes to trying to get goals from corner kicks, trying to get goals from aerial threat, when it comes to him staying central? Now, a lot of his goals actually have come from centralish positions. You know, he's got a good eye for goal, but I honestly cannot get it out of my head when he missed that chance against Argentina in the final, that 1v1 chance. Who remembers that? Comment down below if you remember that. I cannot get it out of my head. Because, oh my God, if he had scored that goal, I think he would have been a hero. And I think I would have liked him 10 times more. Absolutely 10 times more. Me, I don't like Argentina as it is. So if he had scored that 1v1 against Martinez, oh my God, he would have been a hero. But anyways, that happens, right? It's okay. On the other hand, you look at Hojlund, you know, very good, coming in deep, can carry the ball well himself. He's not bad at all beating his defenders. He can set up great goals. Obviously, his assists speak for themselves. He's done well. He's had I think, 30, 40 goal contribution season this season as well. And look, he's so young. Age is on his side. Loads of room for development. I think the more I think about this Rasmus Hojlund deal, the more I see myself fancying this deal. The reason why is I'm big on adding value to your players. You guys hear me on the fan forum, and I say it all the time. With the manager like Erik ten Hag, he doesn't need, he's not like Conte, where he needs ready-made meals. Erik ten Hag can cook himself. He's a great chef. Look at what he's doing with Misaka. Look at what he's done with Rashford. Look at what he's going to do with Dalot and Malacia, etc. He needs a type of player like Rasmus Hojlund that he can develop into the type of player that he wants. Obviously, he's done fantastic at Ajax with some players. Van der Beek, when he had come to us, you know. Frankie de Jong, obviously, he's one of his #1 players that he's developed and created. So many players that he's made that people look at and think, wow, like such a player was not doing well before, until they went to Erik ten Hag, and Erik ten Hag has done so well with the player. He even put Wout Weghorst in the 10, and nobody predicted that, right? So I think it's important to understand that we want to get in players that can eventually add value in the future. Big up to Rahul for the super chat. Thank you very much. Says, hi Faz, great addition. You've been to the United Stand squad, mate. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. What are your thoughts on up-and-coming Colombian winger Pan? I think we should get, look, I'll be honest, wingers, there's lots of wingers right now in the market, sure. But we are absolutely jam-packed when it comes to wingers, Rahul. I'll be honest. We've got Anthony, we've got Well, Elanga's going to go, hopefully, I'm thinking. Rashford, you've got Garnacho who's just come in, right? You've got Bruno who sometimes plays on the wings as well. Then you've got Pelestri. Then you've got Ahmad. You know, all of these, we're stacked in wingers. I don't think we need to get any more wingers at all. What we need to be doing, instead of looking at other wingers, we need to be developing Pelestri. Palestri wasn't even the topic for today, but I'm going to get in it quickly because you mentioned it. And Sancho as well, don't forget. We need to get developing Palestri and Garnacho way more. Palestri is a player who's shown so much, right, this season. And I don't know why Ten Hag hasn't used him more. So next season, I want to see if Palestri can be developed. Big up to Red Smurf as well for staying a member for 38 months. Wow, thank you very much. Says Hojlund would be a true United signing, exactly what this club is about. I think there's a lot of hype around Rasmus Hojlund, and I don't want to overhype the player than what he is. He's good, he's decent. But I don't want to go overboard and say Rasmus Hojlund is the next thing. He's such this, he's such that, because look what happened with Anthony Martial. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just a bit wary and just a bit careful. He's a good player, and I think he can flourish into a fantastic player. But the Manchester United shirt weighs heavy on anyone, and it's a big step up. It's not a small jump, you know, with all due respect, from Atalanta coming to Manchester United. And he's only 20 years old. He needs at least 2 years of solid development before he can turn into a top-level striker in the Premier League, let alone elite level. So you're competing with the likes of Haaland in the Premier League. But hey, who's to say he doesn't step up, right? Garnacho stepped up massively this season, so who's to say he won't? Big up Kai for staying a member for 22 months. Thank you very much. Says, hey, mate, I would like to just say what a great job you are and have done. Thank you for all your effort. What is your priority signing? Firstly, thank you very much for the kind comment. That is very, very kind of you. Very generous. Thank you very much, Kai. What is your priority signing? I think my priority signing is a goalkeeper. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I was trying to have you guys on this morning, making sure everybody's awake. It's not a goalkeeper. I'm joking. Calm down, everyone. It's a striker. It has to be a striker. Look, I know Rashford scored loads of goals this season. He has. But I want the goals to come from a central number 9 position. I know people are saying Beth Bridge, Beth 2.0. I was trying to have you guys on, and I got you guys as well. You guys troll me sometimes, so I have to get you guys back. But yeah, it has to be a striker. We let Ronaldo go and brought in Wout Weghorst, who I was adamant that is not, you know, from early on, I tried to give him some love and etc. as you do. But soon as I saw certain things, I was like, this is not it. This is nowhere it. I don't want to say too much, but it was just horrible. It was really horrible. And it's so sad because he's such a lovely guy and he works so hard. And you can see that the passion and desire is there, but it's just sad that the ability is not there. And can you imagine if we had a decent striker? What would have happened? Maybe our title charge would have lasted more than 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe we could have beat Sevilla. Maybe it wouldn't have been 2-1 against Man City. It could have been 3-2. Can you imagine what we could have done? Because loads of games we have drawn or lost, you know, for example, Newcastle, Palace, Chelsea away this last season. And so many games that we could have picked up the odd point or 3 points here and there, and we would have been in such, you know, better position than where we finished. And we did fantastically well. To think with Wout Weghorst, Sabitzer, you know, Aaron Wan-Bissaka having to come back, David De Gea's mistakes at times, Rashford having to score so many goals, you know, Martial's injury throughout the season. Consider all of these things. To come third in the Premier League is an astonishing achievement. And I really do worry for other teams what will happen if Manchester United get a world-class striker. And my priority signing is Harry Kane. I'll be honest. It is Harry Kane. Thank you very much. Angelo says, surely Fast gets his own show regularly. Well, make sure you go and spam Mark when Mark is on and tell him. Tell him you want to see me more. But thank you very much again for the kind comments. It's very, very generous and kind of you. Thank you to Red Smurf for donating 5 memberships. Thank you very, very much, and welcome to the new members. I think it's Samid, new member, Jacob as well, Stuart, United Mark, and Roy as well, who've become latest members of United Stand. And if you want to become a member, make sure you go and join the members group below. I think Mark will be doing loads of content as well for the members, so make sure you keep an eye out for that as well. But get your super chats in if you have any questions. We want to make it interactive. I want to answer as many questions as I can, and I want to know your thoughts as well. Moving on, right, the Mason Mount deal is being prepped and being made ready. So, look, I've been very straight up and honest about the Mason Mount deal. Mason Mount, I like as a player. Absolutely not a bad player, right? He's great on the half turn. He's got a very good right foot, good at set pieces. Is he the best when it comes to beating a player? He's okay, right? But he's full of energy, bags of energy, can play for 90 minutes at very high intense level. But we want to play possession-based football. We do. We want to keep the ball higher up on the pitch. That means keeping players on the pitch who are comfortable at keeping the ball. It has to be lots of short passing, intricate passing, moving off the ball, linking up with each other. Can Mason Mount do that? He's still young. Look, he's still very, very young. And on top of that, he's had good success already. You can't, again, some things you just can't take away from these players. But the price tag in a season where he's not been able to get into the Chelsea squad, Chelsea first team, I don't know. Chelsea obviously have been through an absolute turmoil, been going up and down this season. And Mason Mount hasn't found himself in a good position. And I don't know where I stand, you know, in terms of, it's again the price tag. No way is Mason Mount 60, 70 million British pounds. It's not. I don't know how people think it could be. And this thing about if Erik ten Hag wants, he gets. I somewhat agree, but I somewhat don't. Because a manager has to earn their stripes. You believe in the manager, hell bent, sure. But more established managers have come in Manchester United and haven't been backed. More established managers have come into Manchester United prior who've been let go, who've gone on to win trophies elsewhere. Erik ten Hag needs to earn his stripes. Whether he's a good manager, great manager, whatever it is, he needs to earn his stripes. He needs to win trophies. That's what it's about. He's done one this season. He took us to the final in the FA Cup, and that's a fantastic achievement with the squad he had. Absolutely fantastic. So do you think he's capable of doing greater things with the right players? Sure, yeah. But is the board going to be allowing to go and spend money anyhow? I don't know. By the looks of it, the way we're adamant about getting Mason Mount, I think the board might be willing to spend a little bit extra to secure the player for Erik ten Hag. But 60, 70 million pounds for Mason Mount. I mean, when Chelsea need to get rid of players as well, don't forget. Chelsea need to get rid of players. I think they've done absolute crazy business to the point where Financial Fair Play had to step in and change the rules because of them. But I don't think Manchester United should be paying anywhere near 60 million pounds, especially when the likes of Liverpool are getting the likes of Alexis McAllister, a World Cup winning player who's had a fantastic season in Brighton, for 40 million pounds. Can you imagine trying to pay or paying 60 million for Mason Mount and then going and trying to negotiate a Rasmus Hojlund deal, or going to try and negotiate a Harry Kane deal, or a Kolo Muani deal, or a Denzel Dumfries deal? Season in, season out, we do this, and I don't think we should be doing that anymore. I really, really don't. I think it's important to understand that you want to be making deals, and if Chelsea want to get rid of a player, that means they are the ones who need to listen to us, and we should be in the driving seat, and we shouldn't just be paying money anyhow. Thank you very much to Billy for gifting 1 membership as well. And thank you very much to Lawrence for becoming the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. So welcome to the family, everyone. Thank you very, very much. So yeah, get in the comments again. A lot of people are saying they want Mason Mount. Ten Hag wants him, go and get him. But I don't know. I don't know. Just the player isn't the best in the world. He's not. He's really not. So I don't know why people are okay for Manchester United to be spending £60 million. And again, where would Bruno Fernandes come into this as well? Because if Mason Mount is playing as a number 10, Bruno Fernandes would be playing as an 8, or is it Ten Hag's bringing him as a competition kind of player who's going to give Bruno Fernandes a bit of competition for the 10 position? Does that mean Eriksen having to hold more bench time? You know, I don't mind that. I think Bruno Fernandes would be better playing in the 8 for Manchester United next season. He's had his best games in the 8 position anyways, next to Casemiro. And I think Mason Mount would be better off playing in the 10. But again, where does the creativity come from? How creative can Mason Mount be? He's got a nice long-range shot on his right foot. He's good at set pieces, but other than that, can he take us to the next level? For 60, 70 million pounds, is he the player that will take Manchester United from 3rd in the Premier League to 2nd, from runners-up in the FA Cup to 1st, from competing in the semi-finals of the Champions League? Can he be that player? Yes or no? Comment down below. I would love to know what you guys think. Another one as well. Daniel Levy stays intent on keeping Harry Maguire this summer. And Manchester United are prepared to wait until he's a free agent next year. With said complications, Rasmus Hojlund is a prime target amongst Manchester United personnel. I think, look, I'm really happy that Manchester United are okay with waiting for Harry Kane. I really am. Is Harry Kane going to be a Manchester United quality player next summer? Yes, he is. And can you imagine getting Harry Kane on a free? You are saving 100+ million for a player that will come in and give you 20, 30 goals straight away. Look, if Daniel Levy wants to shoot himself in the foot, then feel free. There's a deal to be made. Harry Kane wants to chase his Premier League goal scoring record, and Daniel Levy is going to miss out on his biggest asset right now. So yeah, and people are saying some people saying Harry Kane might not be it, and etc. etc. But listen, Harry Kane could play until 34 years old at the top level. He really could. I don't understand this situation about why you think he can't. The numbers are there. The footage is there. The proof is there. Everything is there, yet people are in denial or don't want to accept Harry Kane for some absurd reason. I really don't, for some absurd reason. Strikers have come in and gone before. Strikers go to other clubs and they don't work. But when it's a player that's linked with Manchester United, who ticks all the boxes, there are certain fans who just don't want to agree. I don't know why. I really don't. And look, Kane on a free, absolutely impossible anybody can say no. I really don't know how, on what mindset you will say no. Harry Kane Real Madrid could come knocking on the door, for example, this summer, right? And I put a tweet out on this. Let's say Real Madrid come knocking on the door and Daniel Levy starts entertaining Real Madrid because Real Madrid do need a striker. But Harry Kane could easily say no to Real Madrid. He used to say Harry Kane will say yes to Real Madrid. Because Harry Kane this coming season, let's say he stays in Tottenham, he could go and score another 25 goals. Easily, right? When Ronaldo was in the Premier League, Ronaldo outscored Harry Kane just by a little bit. But then the season after, last season, Harry Kane scored 30 goals, put 30 on the board. Just after Ronaldo left. And yeah, I know we did a bit of banter that, Ronaldo outscored Harry Kane and etc. But he's still getting 20, 30 goals a season. And he's 40-odd goals away from breaking Alan Shearer's record. Nobody can tell me that La Liga is more desirable than breaking the #1 Premier League goal-scoring record of all time. Of all time. Someone can win the La Liga every season, but not everyone can beat that goal-scoring record every season. I know Erling Haaland is peppering every record that he can find in front of him, but it will take Erling Haaland a good few seasons before he gets to 260 goals. So I think there is definitely an intention there and a reason for him to stay in the Premier League. And people say, oh, you know, his ankles are dodgy and etc. Well, how is a player with dodgy ankles scoring 30 goals in a season and 20-odd goals the season before? What kind of dodgy ankles are them? Because I'll tell you what, I would love those dodgy ankles if a player can score 30 goals with dodgy ankles. No, let's be honest here. Because you talk about dodgy ankles, the only person that comes to mind is Anthony Martial, who scored 9-10 Premier League goals in 3 years. That's what you call an injury-prone player, not Harry Kane, who's scoring 30, 20-plus goals season in, season out. Numerous golden boots. Come on, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Super chat here from Henry says, nah, issue with Harry Kane is Tottenham and Daniel Levy. Yeah, that is the issue. Daniel Levy wants to cause headache for himself and his club, and it is what it is. Look, it's fine. Harry Kane can come for free next season. It is absolutely okay. At 30 years old, Harry Kane will still be a Manchester United player, a Manchester United quality player. There's absolutely no denying it. Nobody can deny it. Any more super chats? No super chats. So yeah, let's do, I don't know if we can, because I'd love to do this, Charlie, if you can, get a poll up. Would the fans take, or be open to take Harry Kane at 30 years old on a free? I mean, now, no, I don't think many people would say no, but would you be open to taking Harry Kane on a free next season? Because imagine this, get Rasmus Hojlund this summer for 40 million, wait till next season, get Harry Kane for free, and you've got a striker that you can develop and a world-class striker at the same time for less than £50 million. Ladies and gentlemen, now is that not good business? I should be on the board of Manchester United making this pitch. Wait till Kane is free. Because you can speak to Kane from January. We can start flirting with Kane from January. So let's flirt with Kane from January and say, look, we'll give you a good wage because you deserve it. You're a top-class player. You can come to Manchester United for free. You've got, you know, let's say 20 goals he scored this next season, 25 goals. I think he'll score 25 goals easily. Even when Son wasn't performing and Kulusevski wasn't performing, the man still scored 30 goals. This is just absurd and crazy. And come to Manchester United, absolutely smash that goal record for the Premier League. Help us win some trophies. You know, let's make some legacy together for yourself. And then off you go in a season or two, wherever you want to go. You want to go to Inter Miami? You want to go to Al Nassr, off into the sunset? Wherever you want to go, Harry Kane, you can go. Come to Manchester United for 2 seasons on a free. Give us 60, 70 goals over 2 seasons, you know, and thank you very much for your services. Who says no? I'll be honest, who says no? And Daniel Levy has no power. No power at all when that happens. A lot of people saying yes, actually. 70% of the people saying yes. Kane is going to Madrid. I think Madrid is a fantastic shout. Any player would love to go to Real Madrid. Who wouldn't? But let's be honest here. La Liga, or the #1 goal scoring record in the Premier League, that you could not only smash, but you could go way past it. He could actually hit the 300 mark. Let's not forget. By the time Harry Kane is done with the Premier League, he could end up on the 300 goal mark for the Premier League. Wow. And I promise you, Erling Haaland is not coming close to 300 goals in the Premier League anytime soon. I don't think so anyways. Not in 2-3 years, but yeah. La Liga with Madrid is no-brainer, says AK. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it from a different perspective. Maybe I am. But we will see. Kev is in the chat as well. Big up to Kev. Kev says, can we afford to wait for another season? Kane could have a similar impact of that of Van Persie in his first season. We can wait if we get Rasmus Hojlund. Why not? Because I look at it like this. Can we go and develop Rasmus Hojlund for the next 2 years? Yes, we can. Rasmus Hojlund could come and be that number 9 striker for us. Hopefully give us 15 goals, you know, contribution, and we can take it from there, really. And Harry Kane can come in, and Rasmus Hojlund can learn loads from Harry Kane when he comes in for free. The only reason why I say this is because I am not sure how much is Daniel Levy actually thinking of wanting for Harry Kane. 100 million, I've heard the number 200 million, I've heard the number 130 million. It's just a whole load of numbers. But then, okay, let me pose this question to you guys in the chat. Victor Osimhen, 110 million euros this summer. Next summer, Harry Kane on a free. Yes or no in the comments? Is that not? That's a very attractive deal as well. Get Victor Osimhen now, top world-class striker. Get Harry Kane for free the season after. Why not? Absolutely, why not? This is what I'm saying. I really want to know why people say no. I really want to know. Osimhen, absolutely fantastic. The only reason why I say Harry Kane is because the amount of numbers he's scored year in, year out, the proof is there, and he's, you know, this Premier League proven, even though I'm not a big fan of this Premier League proven quote, but I'll give him that as well. He is Premier League proven. And he'll have huge motivation to go and score an abundance of goals to smash that Alan Shearer record. But Victor Osimhen is a fantastic player. Oh my goodness. His pressing is monstrous. He makes goals out of thin air. I think he's even beaten Ronaldo's jump for header, if I'm not mistaken. Someone let me know in the comments if I'm mistaken, but I think he's out-jumped Cristiano Ronaldo as well this season. He's an absolute freak of nature, Victor Osimhen, and what a player he would be for Manchester United. Don't get me wrong. You guys hear me talk about Harry Kane a lot because we're linked with Harry Kane. The rumours are very, very solid with Harry Kane, but there's not much talks about Victor Osimhen. 130 million is not surprising me at all for a 25, 26-year-old striker. He's at the top of the list for anybody looking for a striker who can afford him. And I think if you just look at his desire and willingness, the way he plays, it's unreal. Absolutely unreal. And we want to do that. You know, look at the way Haaland presses, right? Look at the way he runs at defenders. Look at the strength that he possesses. And that's what we want. Can Rasmus Hojlund do that? Absolutely not. Look, absolutely not. Not yet anyways. Kolo Muani do that? Not yet anyways, you know. And what is it? Kolo Muani is 24 years old and Victor Osimhen is what, 26 if I'm not mistaken? But Victor Osimhen would absolutely skyrocket this team. Have no doubt at all. And I would love to be all over Victor Osimhen, but unfortunately the rumours aren't as heavy as we thought. Someone says Victor Osimhen is 24. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's one of those. The only reason I'm so hellbent on Kane is because we're linked with him so much. That's why. Members super chat from teammate, Michael teammate, thank you, says, bro, let's talk reality, not fantasy. Kane moving this summer for 100 million, not available for free next summer, and Osimhen 150, not 110. You choose now. So you've given me an ultimatum here. Okay. Well, you know what? I'd love for you to come back once the transfer window closes. And we'd love to revisit this situation and see how much of a fantasy it really actually was and how much of a reality it actually was, you know, because the report is saying Daniel Levy is happy to wait for him to go free. He really is. He's that stubborn. But if you think that Daniel Levy is not going to do that and your reality is he's going to sell him for 100 million, Osimhen for 150. Look, the links with Osimhen haven't been as serious as the links with Hojlund and Kolo Muani and Mason Mount, you know. The journalists, the reporters are not reporting on us being linked with Victor Osimhen as heavily. So I would still try and attack the Harry Kane deal. Unless there's a covert operation going on, like the way we signed Casemiro out of the blue, boom, nobody kind of knew. We were looking at Frankie de Jong all summer, and then out of nowhere, in came Casemiro. And I think it could be one of those things. You actually don't know with Erik ten Hag. He told the media that no more signings. Signings are done. We're done for January. And on the last hour, Sabitzer came in. Absolutely, in the last hour, Sabitzer, on the last day, Sabitzer came in. So there could be a covert operation going on. You know, we don't know. Big up to Glennie for the contribution. Thank you very much. Says, we should get Hojlund in for pre-season and start off season, but I wouldn't be surprised if a deadline day move isn't done for Kane. I wouldn't be surprised. No, I wouldn't be surprised. David says Daniel Levy will offer him a new contract, and who's to say he will accept the new contract just because he offers him a new contract? If Harry Kane has any sense of you know, just pride in his own career, he will have to leave that Tottenham Hotspur team. He's not achieved anything with that team at all, and he's not getting any younger. He's absolutely at the prime of his career, and now is the time that you move toward the likes of Manchester United or Real Madrid or wherever to go and win trophies, a trophy-winning team. And we are a trophy-winning team. We are becoming a trophy-winning team. We've just won one this season. We've just been in a final. We were this close to going to the Europa League. Unfortunately, we fumbled. We've played almost every game that, well, we have played every game that there was to play, bar the Europa League game, the final and the semi-final. So Harry Kane has to take his career to the next level. He has to. ARV says, Faz, do McNeil and Hugo have a chance of making the step up to the first team? I'll be honest, I've seen Hugo a lot, seen McNeil a lot. I've seen Hugo on loan as well. No, not right now anyways, not right now. Darren with the super chat, thank you very much, Darren. Says, Maguire and 60 million for Kane this summer, plus buy Hojlund from Atalanta. How interested are Spurs for Harry Maguire? How interested are they in Harry Maguire is the question. And do they value Harry Maguire at £40 million? Do they think Harry Maguire at £40 million would be a good deal? That's the question. Is Harry Maguire worth £40 million to a club? Villa, West Ham, Spurs, you know, I don't know, Chelsea. Who's willing to? Chelsea might end up paying 50 million for him. Chelsea just spend money anyhow. But Spurs, will they look at that sort of a deal? Something that we should entertain. I do think, yeah, maybe if they are seriously interested in Harry Maguire, use him as leverage, and use him in the deal to buy Harry Kane. I don't understand this thing about Tottenham looking at us as a rival. We're not rivals, mate. Daniel Levy, we're not rivals. You're not even in Champions League. You're not even competing for fourth. We're third. We're going to be competing for second next season. Try and push for second. We were in Carabao Cup and we've won it. We're in FA Cup final, and unfortunately we didn't win it. You're nowhere to be seen. You're not our rival. So I don't know why Daniel Levy is so scared of Manchester United. I don't understand. Let us have Harry Kane, mate. Let us have Harry Kane. Told ya, thank you very much for the contribution. Says Sky Sports literally reported Osimhen is going for £103 million, which is 120 million euros. So why go for Kane when Osimhen is available? Let Kane stay trophyless in Spurs. Thank you very much for the comment, told ya. And just because Sky quoted it's 103 million doesn't mean Napoli are going to let him go for 103 million pounds. The price tag, look, I will reference, for example, Hakpo, right? Throughout the World Cup, Hakpo, his price tag went up every 24 hours. One day he was 60 million, then he was 70, then he was 80, then back to 60. Some days he was 50 million. Price tags change all the time, and nobody actually knows the concrete price tag until the clubs communicate with each other. The reports are just reports, and they give you a rough estimate of the price. I wasn't under the impression that Victor Osimhen would be around the price tag of 130 million euros. So 120 is not far off. But if you're spending 100 million on Harry Kane, why not spend 100 million on Victor Osimhen? That is a very fair comment. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And get Victor Osimhen now and get Harry Kane next year for free. Yeah, yeah. Alan, thank you very much for staying a member for 10 months. Says, hi, Faz, great job. Would you swap Sancho for Kane? That's an interesting one. I don't... Would I swap Sancho for Kane? Oh, wow. You've caught me. You've caught me. Right now, look, here's what I'll say about Jadon Sancho. If Jadon Sancho doesn't perform next season, his price tag could go even lower, which is a problem. I'll be honest, which is a problem. If Jadon Sancho turns up next season, then we have another huge asset. He's not done well this season at all. And his price tag isn't living up to what we paid for him, and he's probably not even near to half of his value. He really needs to perform, but the thing is, he is young. There's no point writing him off just yet. He could come good. And a young player like him, you need to bear with them. Sometimes a little bit longer than others. So yeah, I think give him another season. That's my thing. Give him another season, and I hope that Ten Hag can get him firing next season, and hope he really shines, because we all know the quality that he possesses. We all know the ability that he has. It's just not been unlocked yet, and it's just not come through in Manchester United shirt. But I think it's there, and it can happen. Hopefully it comes through next season. So yeah. Someone had asked me, I don't know whether was Hakpo worth it? No, I don't think Hakpo was worth the money at all. But my example was that Hakpo was going up and down in price throughout the World Cup. I don't know why. Sancho's too expensive to fail. Some people are not agreeing. Says Sancho's a fail. Look, he's too young to be called a fail. I think it's still, give him another year and see what happens. Someone also said in the comment section that £103 million for Victor Osimhen is fair, and you know what? You are very, very, very much correct. 103 million for Victor Osimhen is actually a bargain for his age, for his ability, for his qualities, especially in the current market. Looking at other strikers, 100 million%. He at 103 million British pounds, 120 million euros. It is a very, very fair price. You're gonna get yourself a top world-class striker that can go and do an absolute madness in your squad. So yeah, 100%. I would love Manchester United to be all over Victor Osimhen. But look, I keep saying, the only reason why I say Harry Kane is because we're linked with him so heavily. If the links come out about Victor Osimhen, then we'll talk about Victor Osimhen more. Another one, quickly, moving on, is it is believed that an upgrade on Wan-Bissaka is required to challenge for titles. Manchester United scouting reports rate Denzel Dumfries' intelligence and athleticism highly. He could be available for 35 million British pounds. Look, it's an interesting one with the right-back position, because Ten Hag was adamant he wants a right back as soon as he came into Manchester United. That was his first position, a right back or a right-sided centre back. Timber, timber, timber. All, well, for the first few weeks of summer anyways. Then the Timber deal didn't happen. Excuse me. Dalot then started performing, did well. For his international side as well, Dalot did fantastic. Playing numerous games, game after game after game, Dalot was performing. Bissaka, we weren't sure what's going to happen with him. A lot of people at the start of the season were thinking, Bissaka's going to go. Bissaka's going to go. Came halfway past the season, and out came Spider-Man out of nowhere. He literally, he came out of nowhere. And he absolutely showed us that he is willing to fight for his position. And I love a player that can come back and redeem himself. I really, really do. It's important to give players like that your time and your patience. To think that, let's say you were Wan-Bissaka or Dalot, and to think that the new manager has come in and the first player he wants is a player in your position, your confidence is already going to be shot. You're already going to be feeling like, you know what, the gaffer doesn't fancy me really. But you know what, I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to work hard. I am. Going forward, attacking wise, sure, Dumfries might be better. I can see that, and I can agree with that if some people agree. But let's be honest. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the best 1v1 defender in the world. Come on, give him some credit. We bought him for 50 million, if I'm not mistaken, right? And has he lived up to his valuation? At times, no. Sure, at times, no. But many players haven't. But this season that's just gone, he's shown he's willing to improve, and he has improved. He's shown so much improvements in his game, not just from a defending perspective, but from an attacking perspective as well. I am very much willing to keep him. Again, he's not. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka still, Dalot especially, what is he? Dalot's 24, right, Charlie? 23, 24. Bissaka's what, 24, 25, if I'm not mistaken? Why are we, especially on these players, why are we willing to let them go? Yeah, Wan-Bissaka's 25 years old. Thank you, Charlie. Wan-Bissaka's 25. Why are you willing to let these players go? Especially when they're improving, and they've shown that they can improve. So yeah, the poll, thank you very much for the poll as well, Charlie. Who would you prefer, Wan-Bissaka or Dumfries? 74% say Wan-Bissaka. But it's interesting why you guys and I prefer Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, but Ten Hag there's always a link about a right back. There's always a rumor about some right back. Even during middle of the season, there was some sort of a talk about Manchester United being linked with right backs here and there, Dumfries, etc. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know why we're not heavily linked with a striker more than a right back. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, that is pretty much all the latest news. There's not really much other to cover. I'm hoping there will be some takeover news coming in, hopefully today or tomorrow. Friday is the deadline, and Sheikh Jassim has given a final ultimatum to the Glazers, and I'm glad he has. I'm glad he's put his foot down and said, look, stop taking me for an idiot. This is my deal, 5 billion, 5.5 billion, take it or leave it. You've been doing this chit chat with Sir Jim Ratcliffe all this time. If you wanted him, you would have taken him already, but you haven't, and you've waited for my bid, and here is my bid. Here is my bid. So yeah, I hope the takeover happens soon. Darren with the super chat says, any news on Rice, and do you think we can snatch him from Arsenal? Says Darren. Well, we have had a link with Axel Disasi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Is a number 2 option after Kim Min-jae, and then Declan Rice. There's been links with Declan Rice as well. I'll just touch on the Axel deal quickly. Look, Axel is a plan B, and Kim Min-jae is the plan A. But it seems like Manchester United are not, again, unless it's a covert operation that's going on and the media are not hearing about it as much, and Manchester United might end up triggering the release clause. People are talking about Axel, and apparently Manchester United are close to signing Axel Disasi. He's a good defender, similar age range to Kim Min-jae, but the price tag is the same as Kim Min-jae. And Axel is not the best when it comes to 1v1, especially when a forward has a bit of space and Axel finds himself in a 1v1 situation. He's not the best, I'll be honest. But he's good at tackling, he's good at aerial duels, he's really good at progressing the ball forward and passing the ball forward. He's physical, he's tall. But Kim Min-jae is the same price range. Just absolutely doesn't make sense why we don't go and trigger Kim Min-jae's release clause. Absolutely doesn't. I don't understand why we're not linked. I hope there's a covert operation going on. But I'm not a big fan of the Axel Disasi deal, I'll be honest. Really not a big fan at the moment. I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys fancy Axel in a Manchester United shirt? Let me know in the comment, yes or no. I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think that deal is actually going to happen. I feel like it's one of them where transfer windows open, so Manchester United is going to be linked with players. It happens every season, every window. We're linked with 7 different players from 7 different clubs at any given time and moment. And that happened last summer. I mean, we were linked with 100 players last summer. So yeah, I think it'll be one of those. I don't think we will be looking at Axel. And a lot of fans, they see a player Manchester United being linked with and they instantly fall in love. But let's be honest with ourselves. Kim Min-jae is a much better player than Axel, with all due respect. And with the super chat from Darren about can we snatch Declan Rice from Arsenal? Look, Arsenal can have anything snatched from them. Mudryk got snatched from them. João Felix got snatched from them. I mean, they don't have any pull. The Premier League got snatched from them as well. Thank you very much, Charlie. Everything can get snatched. They have no European heritage. Declan Rice has more European heritage than Arsenal as a whole. We have European heritage, and I'm sure Declan Rice would want to come to a club where he can go and add to his European trophy cabinet. And would Arsenal be that team? Does he want to add more bottles to the trophy cabinet or more trophies? You answer this question. What do you think Declan Rice wants to add to his trophy cabinet? Bottles or trophies? Because if he wants to add bottles, he will go to Arsenal. And I'm not talking about champagne bottles. And if he wants to add trophies to his trophy cabinet, come to Manchester United, Declan Rice. That's what I can say. Easily, we can snatch Declan Rice out of Arsenal. Absolutely easily. And Declan Rice is, again, a really, really good player. In that team, in the West Ham team, he's shown, again, a player like Declan Rice out flourishing everyone around him in a West Ham team, now gone on to win the Europa Conference as well. You could see in his eyes yesterday, when he was doing the interview, how proud he was, how happy he was, and such a fantastic progressor of the ball. Is he the Frankie de Jong level? No. You guys know me and Frankie de Jong. I love him with all my heart. But look, Declan Rice will not be a bad shout at all. At all. Again, Moise Caicedo's in there as well. We could be talking about Moise Caicedo. Similar price range. Would Manchester United should be looking at Moise Caicedo as well. Age is on Moise Caicedo's side. Much, much younger. Way more higher ceiling. But Declan Rice would not be a bad shout at all. It all depends on Erik ten Hag and what he wants. If he wants a bit more prepared and ready player in the number 8 or number 6, he could go and get a Declan Rice. But then there's Moise Caicedo, and the price tag. If Liverpool can get McAllister from Brighton for £40 million when he was quoted at 60, 70, then why can't we go and make a deal with Brighton for Moise Caicedo? Really, honestly, I feel like there's something going on here. I really do. Liverpool and Brighton, don't forget, Liverpool and Brighton have a good relationship. Liverpool players going to Brighton, Brighton players going to Liverpool. There's a deal that's happening there, you can see. And Manchester United, unfortunately, don't have a player to give to Brighton, unless Brighton want to take, I don't know, Elanga or someone, Scott McTominay. Maybe replace McAllister with Scott McTominay, or Fred. But Liverpool are sending a player Brighton's way, and Brighton are sending a player Liverpool's way, so they've made a good deal, and a fantastic deal. But let's try and see if we can entertain Moise Caicedo, and we should be. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the latest news. What shows have we got on today, Charlie? We have the 2 p.m. show. So we have the 2 p.m. show with Charlie, so make sure you tune in for that. And then, yes, Mark Goldbridge will be back at 8 p.m. You guys miss Mark so much. I can tell in the chat. But he will be back at 8 p.m. to entertain you all. I don't know if Dublin's given him a tan, so we will see at 8 p.m. All will be unveiled. But Charlie's live at 2 p.m., so make sure you tune in for that. Thank you very, very much for everyone for tuning in and staying with me. And I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day. Take care and peace.